So have you ever been denied for a mortgage or a personal loan, and you honestly had no earthly idea why your scores suddenly dropped? The truth is, your financial life is governed by highly secure, completely emotionless mathematical algorithms. Specifically, we're talking about the FICO scoring models, versions 8, 9, and the newer FICO 10 suites. Lenders rely on these exact algorithms to instantly judge your risk level. But instead of just sitting back and being at their mercy, we are about to learn how to legally infiltrate and completely optimize these systems, and we're going to do it at lightning speed.
Section 1. The Credit Scoring Algorithm.
Okay, let's dive right in. The very first step to optimizing any system is actually understanding the machine itself, right? Now, most people think they have just one single credit score, but that's a total myth. Lenders actually select from a whole suite of models. But here's the absolute game changer. The algorithm is incredibly top-heavy. Your payment history dictates a massive 35% of the score, and amounts owed makes up another 30%. Think about that. Just two categories control nearly 2/3 of your entire credit score. You don't need to stress over tweaking every single tiny detail. You just need to focus all your firepower right here on the heavy hitters.
Section 2. Lowering your credit utilization.
And that brings us to our very first tactical maneuver, manipulating your revolving credit utilization. Honestly, this is the fastest legal method for algorithmic optimization out there. The golden rule you've probably heard is to keep your balances below 30% of your available limits. But here's the secret weapon that most folks miss. Unlike your payment history, which takes years and years to build up, your utilization has almost zero memory in the most commonly used FICO 8 models. What does that mean for you? It means the second you pay down a balance, your score improves instantly. It is literally an immediate algorithmic flush.
So to absolutely maximize this instant flush, we use a covert operations tactic known as the A0 protocol. That stands for all zeros except one. See, if you pay every single card down to absolutely zero, the algorithm gets confused and actually penalizes you for having no recent revolving balance. It basically assumes you just stopped using credit altogether, which makes you look unpredictable. The A0 protocol fixes this perfectly by flushing out the high utilization penalties without triggering that dreaded zero balance penalty.
Let's look at exactly how to execute this as an actionable plan. Here are the steps. First, pay all of your revolving credit cards down to exactly $0. Okay? Done. Second, leave just one single card with a tiny balance, somewhere between 1 and 9% of that specific card's limit. Now, for the third step, listen closely because this is absolutely crucial. You must execute this paydown before the statement closing date, not your payment due date. Actually, let me repeat that. Statement closing date. That is the exact day the bank takes a snapshot of your account to send to the bureaus, and you desperately want them to capture that near zero balance.
Section 3. Injecting alternative credit data. All right, so we've optimized your current debt. That's huge. Now we pivot to the next strategy, legally injecting alternative data. This is how you fix a thin credit file almost overnight. Historically, paying your rent on time, which is probably your biggest expense, did absolutely nothing for your credit score. Zero. But today, you can use third-party rent reporting services. Companies like Boom, Rental Karma, Self, and Rent Reporters allow you to weaponize that massive monthly expense. They basically take your rent payments and report them directly to the big three credit bureaus.
But the real explosive power here, the part that's just a massive hack, is a feature called retroactive backfilling. Let's say you've been living in your apartment for a couple of years. You can pay a one-time fee to these services, and they will legally force up to 24 months of perfect on-time payment history onto your credit file in a matter of days. Think about the impact of that. That is 2 whole years of flawless history suddenly appearing out of thin air in that critical payment history category we talked about earlier.
Now, you do have a couple of options here, and it's a strategic choice. You can absolutely use a free tool like Experian Boost. It instantly links to your bank account and injects positive utility and streaming payments. Awesome, right? But it only applies to your Experian report. It ignores the other 2 bureaus completely. On the flip side, the paid rent reporting services are the true heavy hitters. Yes, they cost a little bit of money up front, but they push that massive backfilled rent history to all 3 major bureaus. It really just depends on your exact needs and timeline.
Section 4. Disputing credit report errors.
Okay, listen, you cannot achieve true algorithmic mastery if your file is being dragged down by inaccurate, negative items, holding your score hostage. We have to obliterate those reporting errors. Enter your ultimate legal weapon, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, or the FCRA. This is so important to understand. This isn't just a polite suggestion to the bureaus. It is strict federal law. It provides an ironclad framework that forces the bureaus to investigate your disputes. And here's the kicker. If they cannot verify a negative mark as 100% accurate, they are legally required to delete it. Gone.
And honestly, the best part of the FCRA? It puts the bureaus on a ticking clock. From day one, the exact moment they receive your written dispute, they have exactly 30 days to investigate. If you send in extra evidence during that time, okay, it extends to 45 days. But by day 50, they absolutely must notify you of the result. By holding them to this incredibly strict statutory timeline, you force accountability and drastically speed up the removal of toxic, inaccurate data from your profile.
Now here is a massive algorithmic loophole that almost everyone misses. Let's say you have a legitimate but really small collection account. In the old days, paying that off would still leave a huge stain on your report for up to 7 years. It was terrible. But under the much newer FICO 9 model, the algorithm completely ignores all paid collections, literally acts like they don't exist. So paying off that small nuisance debt effectively incinerates the damage in the eyes of any modern lender using that model.
Section 5. The Rapid Rescore Strategy.
So, what happens if you are in the middle of buying a house and you simply do not have 30 to 60 days to sit around waiting for your utilization flush or your error correction to show up? That brings us to our final high-octane getaway tactic, the rapid rescore. When you compare timelines, a regular bureau update takes 30 to 60 days. A standard consumer dispute takes 30 to 45 days, but a rapid rescore, it updates the file in just 3 to 5 business days. It's a VIP fast pass. The only catch is that you cannot initiate this yourself. It has to be requested by your mortgage lender.
The speed difference we're talking about here is literally the difference between a turtle and a lightning strike. 30 to 60 days versus 3 to 5 days. You just provide your loan officer with the hard proof that you paid down that credit card or fixed that error, they submit the paperwork on their end, and boom, within a week, you have a brand new, highly optimized score ready for underwriting.
Now let's be super clear about expectations. A rapid rescore is not some sort of magic credit repair wand. It is not going to erase a valid bankruptcy or hide legitimate late payments you made last month. Think of it as a precision strike. It's absolutely ideal for those moments when you are just a few tiny points shy of hitting a massive mortgage tier break, or you desperately need to save an expiring rate lock, or you need an already corrected error to reflect on your score right this very second.
But hey, huge, critical, tactical warning here. Never, and I mean absolutely never, initiate a standard consumer-level credit dispute while you're under contract for a mortgage. If you file a traditional dispute, it can literally freeze your lender's automated underwriting system because the computer treats that disputed account as totally unresolved. It can completely kill your loan right then and there. Always talk to your loan officer and use the lender-initiated rapid rescore instead if you are mid-process.
So let's pull all of this together. Achieving a massive, totally legal 100-point score jump in just 30 days is absolutely possible if you apply this specific strategic framework. It requires the utilization flush using the AZEO protocol, it requires alternative data injection by retroactively backfilling your rent, and it requires aggressive legal remediation using FCRA disputes to eliminate those reporting errors. It's a three-pronged attack.
The big takeaway here is that you do not have to be a passive participant in your own financial life. These algorithms are built on strict, predictable rules, and once you understand those rules, you can make them work for you instead of against you. So I'll leave you with this final thought. Are you going to just remain a victim to a mysterious 3-digit number, or are you ready to take tactical control, legally hack the system, and rewrite your financial future?